So I've seen a lot of people asking questions about the new mini-series Behind Her Eyes. It's the kind of series that, similar to Inception, it has people interested in lucid dreaming and this time astral projection. So I thought I would talk about it from a lucid dreamer's perspective. So first of all, if you're interested in lucid dreaming, you can check my channel out where I explain how to do different techniques in order to have lucid dreams. So there's some questions I want to answer for people who have become interested in lucid dreaming and astral projection because of the show, which are: what is lucid dreaming? Is lucid dreaming real? Do the techniques that the main protagonists in the show are using actually work? And how long do you need to practice for? Does lucid dreaming look like how it does in the series? Can lucid dreaming help tackle nightmares, and can you make people, objects and places appear within a lucid dream? And lastly, what is astral projection, as this is one of the most important plot points of the show. So I'm going to give a spoilers warning, even though I'm not going to go into exact detail and spoil the ending or anything, but I'll be talking about the lucid dreaming and astral projection aspect of it, which will include some kind of spoilers. So again, to put this briefly, one of the main protagonists of the show can't sleep properly because she's having these reoccurring night terrors, which ultimately cause her to sleepwalk. It gets to the point that sleepwalking is getting extremely dangerous for her, so when she's speaking to another character of the show, she finds out about lucid dreaming and how to do it by reading over her old friend's diary. She starts performing what's basically known as reality checks throughout the day, which is counting her fingers. Okay, so first of all, what is lucid dreaming? Lucid dreaming is basically when you become aware that you're dreaming as you're in the dream. So basically you're consciously aware that you're in the dream whilst the dream is happening, knowing that you're in bed sleeping. By knowing that you're dreaming as you're dreaming, you can gain some kind of control, which can get better and better the more you practice. So is lucid dreaming real? It's very real. So on April the 12th, 1975, Dr. Keith Hearn, a British psychologist, was the first person to prove lucid dreaming was real using his ocular signalling technique. Basically communicating with the outside world during REM sleep, which is rapid eye movement of sleep, where most of your dreams happen. They were communicating with the outside world, let's call it the wakened world, whilst in this lucid dreaming state using predetermined eye signals. That's why when it comes to April the 12th, it's known as International Lucid Dreaming Day. So basically what the character does in the show is perform what looks like, reality checks, which is correct. It is a correct way that people can lucid dream. I've made a video about doing reality checks myself on this channel, as well as other lucid dreaming techniques. Now, don't expect to have lucid dreams every night or after performing a 5-minute reality check whilst lying down on your back like the characters do in the show. A show has to obviously get to the point of the story progressing, and so has to speed up the process of these things. But I like how it still briefly shows our main character almost giving up on the reality check practice, or the practice of becoming lucid in general, because lucid dreaming is a skill that takes time, dedication and effort. There's no quick fix. Some people can lucid dream on their first try, and others it can take a long time. Nobody can give you a direct answer to that. Plus, one technique might not work as well for you as it does somebody else. You have to put the work in order to find out about this part. So back to the story. So eventually, by learning to lucid dream, she sleeps better and she's overcome her reoccurring night terrors to the point she feels happier and more rested. This leads to her becoming more like her normal self again and enjoying the beautiful side of sleep. She can relax knowing that if this bad dream happens again, she'll notice it and realise that she's dreaming and turn it into something beautiful. So can lucid dreaming help tackle nightmares, and can you make people and objects appear etc. like you see in the show? And also, what does lucid dreaming look like? Does it actually look like what it does in the show, all cartoon-like? Well, aye, with enough practice you can make people appear, or let's say you can spawn stuff in a lucid dream. You can imagine a door to appear and use that as a portal, like in the show for example. Also, when it comes to nightmares, lucid dreaming can definitely help people tackle nightmares, as many people have mentioned. Confronting a dream whilst you're consciously aware within it will have a much more powerful effect on that dream, because once you realise that you're dreaming and that there isn't anything that can harm you, the dream will lose its power over you, and you'll probably find that that particular nightmare can become a dream sign that you notice in order for you to recognise when you're next dreaming, in order to turn it into a lucid dream. Or you won't have the nightmares again. And again, like in the show, keeping a dream diary helps you recognise recurring dream signs in order for you to recognise them when you're next dreaming and become lucid. Again, I've made a video on keeping dream journals, or you can look up dream journaling elsewhere. And as for what the dream looks like, you have to remember that the show will make things look a bit more wacky in order for the audience to understand that this particular bit of the show is supposed to be a dream. But aye, the dream can look cartoon-like, or as though you've, let's say, took a bag of mushrooms and everything looks really colourful, but it can also just look the same as what it looks like when you're awake, and if not, even more real than what we consider real life. A thing I thought I would mention, my girlfriend asked an interesting question as I was talking about the main protagonist suffering with the fact that she sleepwalks. As soon as she learns to become lucid, when she's having a lucid dream, the camera will sometimes show you lying in bed as though she's enjoying it, obviously lying in her bed, but my girlfriend asked the question, if you become consciously aware you're dreaming, in other words, once you realise that you're dreaming, you're having a lucid dream, would that mean that physically you would stop sleepwalking, or would you continue having a lucid dream, scared to still do things in case your actual physical body is reacting to it? I just found that was interesting, so let me know down the bottom in the comments what your ideas are on that, because I don't know, it's kind of weird. Would becoming lucid stop you from sleepwalking? Or would you still continue sleepwalking? I don't know. So anyway, in the show it starts to go overboard as it starts leaping into the whole astral projection territory, where the characters become so good at lucid dreaming to the point they can leave their body at will basically. So what is astral projection? Astral projection is basically the belief that we have a soul, also known as an astral body, that can basically leave the physical body and still take its personality, its ego, its consciousness with it and explore other places. So it's important to note that astral projection has not been proven the way lucid dreaming has. In the show it has moments where, for example, two of the characters do like a soul swap. In other words, they both astral project at will at the same time, and then they swap and enter each other's bodies. And then there's a particular part in the show where one of the characters is astral projecting in order to spy on their partner to find out that they're cheating on them. And as I said, the way it currently stands, there's no scientific evidence of people being able to leave their bodies, or at least they've not been able to come back and actually prove it enough times in order for it to be scientifically proven. I mean, I've done my own practice with this before. I've asked my uncle to write down numbers on a bit of paper and then put them on top of a wardrobe. And for the next couple of days I would practice astral projecting so that I could fly into the room and see if I can actually guess the correct number that he wrote down on the paper. And maybe 3 or 4 attempts I was successfully astral projecting. I would fly into the room and not once did I get any of the numbers correct. In fact, 2 of the occasions there was no bit of paper on top of the cupboard or the wardrobe. So again, it's wee experiments like this. If you really could prove it was real, then people would be doing this all the time. And if we really could answer and prove this to be a real thing that's happening, where your soul was flying about spying on each other and stuff, would we ever really feel as if we've got any freedom? Never mind your internet history being looked at, your life could be being watched by all sorts of mad weirdos who have perfected this technique in order to cause some kind of harm. Imagine sitting about knowing that there could be somebody's astral body in your room right now. I mean, would it be a good thing overall, or would it be a horrible, terrifying, scary, bizarrely creepy thing? Anyway, it was actually a good show. People have to remember that it is fiction. It's a fictional show. It will get things wrong and it's made for entertainment, but one thing that isn't fictional about it is the lucid dreaming parts of it. And that's why I made this video, to maybe stop people getting it confused with astral projecting, which, as I said, has never been proven. Maybe lucid dreaming and astral projection are the same thing. I mean, I've done both and aye, they can feel very different, but there's no way to prove, there's no proof for you being able to actually fly outside your body with your consciousness still intact. But again, I'll let you decide for yourself. I'm not here to tell you what to believe in. I mean, be open-minded to it. I mean, the idea would be quite cool, and as I said earlier, it could be quite creepy at the same time. And I'm sorry if I've upset anybody that's a big believer in astral projection. I used to be myself until I'd done these wee experiments and looked into it a bit more. I would absolutely love it if there was such a place as an astral realm that your astral body or your soul went to when your physical body died. It would be the biggest groundbreaking discovery in the history of everything if somebody could find that out and scientifically prove it. Again, imagine what it'd be like to be able to, I don't know, fly to Area 51 and find out what's there. And again, if this is real, then can anybody out there go and do that for me right now and tell me? Anyway, give the show a watch. If you've literally just became interested in lucid dreaming because of the show and you've somehow looked up a review of the film, and again on top of that somehow found me talking about this video basically, then check my channel out. I make videos on how to lucid dream, and again subscribe if you want to see more future lucid dreaming videos, as well as stuff like meditation and mindfulness. I make videos on living in the moment, that kind of stuff. Overall, using lucid living for better well-being. Anyway, thanks very much for watching the video. Let me know down the bottom what you thought of this series, and have a good one. Take care.